AITA for not wanting my girlfriend's mother to move in with us? Originally posted by uclim56 in r Am I the Asshole on April 16, 23, updated on May 28, 23. I have changed the initial to a fake name. An NBSP. Trigger warning. Toxic family. Hints of possible alcoholism. Less than. Mood spoiler. Ends with progress. Less than. An NBSP. Original. April 16, 23. An NBSP. AITA for not wanting my girlfriend's mother to move in with us? I, 23M, and my girlfriend, 22F, have been together for almost 6 years. We just moved into a house that I bought and own a month and a half ago. I'm a first-time homeowner and this is my first time living on my own away from my parents. She's been living in an apartment for a few years prior to moving in here. We make enough to live comfortably. We bring home around $80,000 combined, and as a result I was able to buy a pretty big house for the two of us. Nearly the size of my parents' home. I alone pay the mortgage and utilities, since it's my house. Girlfriend has been generous enough to buy groceries, subscriptions, etc. She also paid for some of the furniture we have when we moved in. The issue here came up about a week ago. Girlfriend's mom, Anne, isn't well off. She lived in a trailer with her boyfriend and they broke up a few months ago, so she'd been living with her mom and mom's husband. Anne's mom died a couple of weeks ago from cancer. And now her mom's husband is kicking her out. She has the possibility of living with my girlfriend's sister and her boyfriend, who live with the boyfriend's parents. But Anne's been insistent on moving in with us. I am firmly against this. It's my house. I'm very much enjoying living on my own. And honestly, I don't want anyone else here. It's not my fault that her mom hasn't done anything to improve her financial situation. And I shouldn't be forced to endure her consequences of her actions. The fact that, to my knowledge, she isn't even looking at apartments, other trailers in that area, or a job just shows me that she intends to move in here and stay here. I can tell my girlfriend doesn't want that either, but wants to cave and ask me to allow it, though she's been avoiding the subject directly with me given the uncomfortable situation she's understandably in. I love her to death, but she's a massive pushover when it comes to her mom. She had me driving to Walmart to get food and cigarettes for her mom when we started dating, because her mom was too lazy to. My girlfriend's sister has been saying I'm an asshole because we have a bigger house and can easily take her in. I told her outright, it's not my mom, and not my problem, which caused her to throw a tantrum on the phone, and she accused me of trying to make her mom homeless. I've been feeling guilty, but I want to hold my ground. I don't want to enable her mom to sit around here all day drinking. So, AITA? An NBSP. Oop gives more info in the comments. Someone takes issue with him calling it his house, not ours. Although I love her and fully intend to marry her soon. For the lack of better words here, I didn't want to be the idiot who put his girlfriend's name on the title, only for us to break up for some reason and have to deal with resolving that. If, when we get married and I let her start contributing to the mortgage, she'll be put on the title. I can understand your argument, but I do want to communicate here that I've been working since I was 14 to get to where I am now. I was able to put a ton down on the house to make my monthly payment pretty low compared to what I net per month. Her buying groceries and paying for Amazon Prime, Chewy for her dog is more of a gesture of goodwill, rather than a necessity. I could still afford to live by myself were she not in the picture. I never communicate to her about the house that way, but I do darn right think it, because I need to be prepared should we ever split. In my opinion it is my house. Until she's on the title, mortgage. After we'd get married, I'm completely for equality in relationships, but she didn't bust her ass working until 11 p.m. every night as a farmhand at 14 oh. Lol. When I said that to her sister, I was fed up after going back and forth for 45 minutes on the phone with her about this. I just honestly wanted to shut her down and end the call. I do acknowledge I could have handled that much better than I did. On the bit about the sisters sharing the responsibility, this financial situation isn't unique to my future mill. As I mentioned, GF's sister lives with her boyfriend in the boyfriend's parents' house. GF is the first one in their family to graduate college, and the only one in that family that has a job paying above minimum wage. This caused a lot of resentment from GF's sister about my GF. I don't see them cooperating on a solution here, but I will try to propose it. About being able to afford his house. I've been working for nearly 10 years now. Was able to put nearly 40% down on the house. Mortgage payment is very low compared to putting 3% down like people apparently usually do. Person asks where they can find a house that affordable. Don't come to the great state of PA, where you can get a house on 5 figures but can't buy liquor on Sunday. About the mom. Mother is in her late 40s. And no disabilities that I'm aware of. She used to work in a meat processing plant before COVID hit. But she quit because she didn't want to catch it and hasn't had a job since. Nothing has been brought up about her contributing to the house. It's essentially been her attempting to guilt my girlfriend into letting her move in. As to her position, she doesn't want her moving in either. But as I mentioned, she doesn't know how to tell her mother no, so she's been stalling her mom. I don't think it would be the end of the world to her if I just came in with a resounding no. This woman is in her late 40s. Has no savings. Has lived off of SNAP benefits since my GF can remember. She's done nothing to improve her financial situation. Spends what money she does get on beer and cigarettes. I don't want to be living with her. I don't want my nice house ruined by cigarette smoke. I don't want to take care of a lazy 40-something-year-old that doesn't want to act like an adult and get a damn job. About the mom smoking, and she won't take it outside. Before all this started, when we would go visit at Anne's mom's house, I would have to immediately wash all of my clothing in their own load to get out the smell. And if it wasn't obvious, the cancer that killed her mom was lung cancer. Currently taking my father as well. I'm really enjoying living in a smoke-free home. In NBSP, Judgment, Not the Asshole in NBSP. Update May 28, 23 in NBSP. Update to AITA post. Hey folks. A few people messaged me about an update to the post I made a while ago on AITA, so here it is. My girlfriend, now fiancé, and I are fine. We talked about it and agreed since it is my house, I would be the one to grow a pair and say no. Her mom came up to visit, probably to scout out the house she thought she would be living in. And I laid it all out for her over dinner. After sitting down and having some small talk, I essentially said that under no circumstances would she be moving in with us. And that was that. She got pretty agitated, trying to guilt me with, "What's the big deal? Where will I go? I'll be on the street if you don't let me move in." I started to reiterate that it's not our problem. But I remembered some of the suggestions that the commenters on the original post gave, and suggested public housing, some local assistance programs like food pantries, etc. She still wasn't having it though. She's very entitled. She said it would be a lot easier for her. Of course. These people only think of themselves. If we just let her move in. She didn't want to go through the hassle of applying for public housing. She doesn't want to have to go to the food banks. Stuff like that. We kind of went back and forth, talking over each other, and it escalated to the point that I kicked her out. Didn't lay any hands on her, But I took her plate of food and threw it out, and told her to get the hell out of my house. She left, after some yelling, and my new neighbors saw the whole show of her cursing me out and peeling out of my driveway, chewing up some of my yard during the process. So that was fun. When the yelling started, my girlfriend retreated to our bedroom, and after her mother left I went back in to find her crying. After giving her some time and cleaning up dinner, I didn't so much throw her mom's plate out as I did launch it at the trash can. So it was everywhere. I went back in and we had a long talk about what happened. She told me I did the right thing, but I had scared her with all the yelling. She has a lot of childhood trauma, unsurprisingly, but I reassured her that her mom wouldn't be coming back, and this whole thing was over. So far, that's rung true. I suggested she give therapy a shot since her family is such a mess and she has a lot of baggage. She could talk out and she agreed, only asking if I would attend some sessions with her, which I happily agreed to. She's been to 3 sessions so far alone, and a 4th one with both of us. And from what I've heard they've been going very well. So that's pretty much it. Her mother has pissed off back to the hole she came from, and hasn't bothered us since. Asked her to marry me last week and she said yes. So I'm looking forward to starting this new chapter in our lives. And no, her mother won't be invited to the wedding. Thank you all for your helpful comments and suggestions. They really helped me out. An NBSP. Editing to add. I let Oop know that I would be sharing his posts and asked if he had anything to add. He just got back to me with this. Don't really have any more to update. At least not yet, haha. Haven't heard anything else from the Wicked Witch. Thankfully. An NBSP. Flaring this concluded as Oop and his fiancée came to an agreement and Anne is not moving in. Reminder. Do not comment on the original posts or contact the original poster. I am not the original poster. This is a repost. Good for this guy. My husband's family tried to pull something similar with us. We had a 2-bedroom apartment and were well off compared to the rest of his family. Lots of poor white meth heads. We had a spare room, but it was really a storage room with a little gaming nook for my husband. Well, his drug addict mom's house flooded and his sister was like, "Oh, you can just move in with Lefty and Bro." They called him and said, "Mom has to move in without guys for a bit." He was also stuck because he loved his mom, but they don't have a close relationship because she was in and out of prison for a lot of his formative years. I went and talked to our property management and they said, guests can stay 2 weeks. After that they have to be added to the lease. Can she pass the background and credit check? Lol, no, then she can stay 2 weeks, but now that we know, we will be checking on this. We've had people try to squat and we won't allow her to overstay her welcome. Awesome. Thank you. Boy, were his siblings furious when we told them, unfortunately she can only stay 2 weeks. They screamed, "This isn't fair. You have the extra room. Just add her to your lease." Not up to us. Sorry. Not sorry. She stayed for 2 weeks and then had to play musical chairs, getting shuttled between the other kids and sleeping on their couches. She actually got mad at us because she couldn't sleep on the couch. We set up an air mattress for her. She wanted to stay up all night watching movies and eventually fall asleep on the couch like she did at home. But we had jobs, so we were up at 5 a.m. getting coffee, taking care of the dog and getting ready to go for the day. She slept on the couch once and got pissed that we woke her up at 5 a.m. Lol. This reminds me a lot of my current situation, but with my mother. Mom has done nothing to improve her financial situation and health for years and years. Relies on brother. He's moving out. She's very likely going to ask to come to my house, which I just bought with my partner. She's very likely to quit her job and rely on us. Not happening. I love my mom, but she's a short doses person. There's a reason why I work 3 jobs while being a full-time student to not go back to her home. And no, it wasn't the distance. She cannot come here. I don't want it for my mental health. Partner doesn't want it at all. We also don't have the space for her. I'm awaiting a very tough conversation that will not go well at all. I feel for Oop, but man, for me, it's my own mom. ETA. She wouldn't quit until she was in someone's house. She doesn't have plans to quit. We just know she's going to someone's house and will quit eventually and will never leave. She also knows none of her kids can take her. But the convo as to why will be happening eventually. Right now, she's ignoring us all. Sucks. Anyone else just hearing Morgan Freeman's voice saying, but it wasn't concluded? Oh no. Not at all. All he had to say was that she smokes. I was married for 21 years to a 2-packs-a-day smoker. Our son had chronic ear infections because of secondhand smoke. I developed asthma because of his smoking. The house we lived in had stained ceilings and perpetually smelled like tobacco. We split up, and I moved the kids and myself into my late mom's home. No one smokes. Asthma-abated son has not had an ear infection in 28 years. I am significantly allergic to smoke and have to take precautions. Op. Do not allow her mom to wreck your home. Your home is your investment. You would not allow someone to joyride a combine over your field of soybeans. Where she peeled out. Plant a boulder garden with cement pumpkins. I hope his fiancée continues therapy and is able to start standing up to her mother. If not, I don't think this relationship will be a happy or successful one. I like the idea of launching a plate of food in the trash. In my mind it was done from the other side of the room in one perfect motion. Like a basketball. I think this is a situation where the usual advice that each partner handles their own family was rightly ignored. If the GF has never had to been able to stand up to mom before, mom knows she's a weak target. It sounds like the GF gave it her best shot. It just wasn't very effective. At that point, Oop being not part of the family, not emotionally invested in Anne other than because she's related to his GF. And not much from that, given the givens, but does currently have absolute control over the home. If the first salvo doesn't work, all those program ideas start looking like the easier option. I hope Oop and his GF are happy together for a long time. I don't understand why people get so bent out of shape over an OOP saying, my house, when he's the one who put the entire down payment and pays the full mortgage. I bought a house. My boyfriend looked at houses and moved with me. But the down payment was mine and I paid the mortgage. When we got married we sold the house and used the equity to put a down payment on a house together that we both own as married partners. But that first house? That was my house. I don't see an issue with calling it my house, and neither did my boyfriend, fiancé, husband. Also, maybe it makes a difference. It was always going to be my first home, not my forever home, which it sounds like Oop bought a forever home, so maybe it's different. But I still don't see it as a big deal. Now in our current home it's our kitchen or our backyard, and the only thing that is mine or his are our offices. A 40-something old woman that's perfectly healthy shouldn't be playing the pity card. It's downright disgusting. You did the right thing. Stick to your guns and keep supporting your girlfriend, fiancé. That's going to end horribly. I can't believe people was so into his and not our house. She paid groceries, some subscription, and help with some furniture. That's a lot less than down payments and mortgage. Glad this ended okay. Some families are vultures for other people's houses. I love that she's in therapy and y'all are engaged, but married or not, I wouldn't add her name to the house. Her family has issues and, God forbid, something happens in the future and you guys break up. They'll try and take your house from you. Hope Oop does a prenup. I wonder where they are located that they could afford a pretty big home on $80K annual in 2023. Someone took issue with Op calling it his house. El Mao, what a stupid comment. Jaw on the floor that she left him in a screaming match with her own mother and just let him be the meat shield for her confrontation she refuses to have. He must love her a lot. God, I don't miss these days. It took me till I was pregnant with my own kid before I could finally get the guts to go no contact. I hope their relationship works out and she keeps up with therapy. I had this exact situation with my ex-girlfriend. We were together for 6 years when I bought my house. Her mom started staying with us because she was riding couches and was doing it to help with the dog. I traveled for work and it kind of sucked being only able to be in my house for 2 days a week and having my GF's mom on the other side of a wall. So she started only coming around when I wasn't there. Last straw was when she booked an appointment for my dog to get spayed without my knowledge. I didn't know about it until the vet called me for instructions the day before. I did get her spayed but wanted her to go through a heat cycle first. Stuck it out for another year with her. But eventually the divorced parent trauma caught up. My heart goes out for Oop. For the Oop to be 23 years old. He is surprisingly mature in the way he's been handling this situation. House. Check mark not putting GF name on mortgage until married. Check mark boundary setting with future mill. Check mark suggesting therapy for fiancé. Check mark. I wish I had 1/4 of my shish tea together as he does when I was his age. Good for him. So now they'll marry, she'll be on the title deed, move mom in. Playing the long game lol.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.